Okay, let's go after the header. Now, before we actually go after the header, there's two RGB color values that we need to have handy. The background for the header, and we may as well grab the orange color for the main navigation menu. So if you don't have them still jotted down in front of you, once again, what you could do is you could have your medium resolution layout handy inside Photoshop, and then I showed you some options for figuring out your colors earlier on. For instance, you could grab your eyedropper tool just by tapping the I key on your keyboard and then sampling the blue there, for instance, and then heading into the foreground color swatch and getting the colors that way. You'll have to do the same for the orange as well, okay? Now, don't get stressed out too much. I have them all here for us, so I'll help us along. I'm more letting you know exactly how to extract your colors from Photoshop for your own projects, okay? So in any regard, what I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to head all the way back to my external style sheet. Let's go after the header here initially. So there's my header inside the medium resolution media query. And of course, it's his background color that I'm after. Okay, so make sure you find that background color. And we're going to use the blue, which was 0, 80, and 125, just like so. Let's go and take a quick look at this guy here. Refresh. There it is. Perfect. All right. Do you want to tackle the main navigation menu here as well? We'll do the header and the nav menu all in one shot. What the heck? So let's head back over to our external style sheet. Now, the first thing that I want to do here is I want to find the nav, the actual nav bar itself, or the nav element, really. And I want to make sure that the text is aligned to the center. Okay, so I'm going to go text-align, and then center, followed by a semicolon, and you can go and check out those results inside the browser there. So there we go. There's the text nice and centered there. But we still have this gap of space on the left-hand side. Do you remember how we resolved that issue earlier on? Let me give you a hint here. It had something to do with WebKit. I'm going to scroll down into the high-resolution list of rules, and there, don't forget, or perhaps if you recall, we created a new rule called NavUL, and then he had this kind of funny-looking code here, WebKit padding start 0. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rule here from the high-resolution media query, and I'm going to copy them, Controller-Command-C, and then what I'll do is I'll paste them into the medium resolution media query, something like this. Okay, so NavUL. And if you want, you can go and refresh your browser. There we go. Now our text is properly centered inside that navigation bar. Perfect. The only other thing that I want to do here is I want to get the hyperlinks inside the nav element under control. Give me a second here. I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping. I'm just going to indent my nav-li, and then after the nav-li, I'm going to go nav-li-a, so that's our hyperlink inside a list item inside the nav. And let's go and set this guy up. So I'm going to go color, RGB, and so this is the orange color value that I'm going to use anyway, which is going to be 240 and 120 and 30, like so. Okay? There it is. I'm going to get rid of the underline by going text-decoration, and then I'll say none. Okay, that gets rid of the underline. Let's make this text bold as we did earlier by going font-weight, and then I'll simply type in bold. There we go. And let's see, I'm going to increase the font size as well, font-size. And earlier, for the high resolution, I believe I used 15 pixels, so I'm going to repeat that here as well. All right, go ahead and save up your work, and let's take a look at the browser. There we go, something like this. That looks much better, I think. But you know what I want to do as well? I'm going to throw in one more property, because this main navigation menu likely will break onto multiple lines, something like this, right? So what I want to do is I want to increase the amount of space between the lines of text, the vertical space. And this is a CSS property that we've already seen. He's called line height, okay? Don't forget. If you're coming from the world of print, this is the same as leading, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert some line height into the new rule that you and I just created, the nav-li-a, okay? Now, how much line height should I use? Well, that's entirely up to you. You might have to experiment a little bit. I'm going to try 200%, and I'll see where that gets me, Okay, so give me a moment here. Refresh my browser there, something like that. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. You can fiddle with that value if you like. It's entirely up to you. But I think my navigation menu looks really good here, and looks like we're off to a really good start here with our medium resolution design.